Guys, we'll be coming to 2 laps to go. We're not done yet. 85 lead changes.
Paul Menard trying to win his first Sprint Cup race.
Uh-oh. You know what those two up on the top are saying, don't you? Where'd they come from?
Carl Edwards in that 99, Greg Biffle in the 16. 2 to go this time.
And they timed that out pretty darn good, because time that Boyer and Harvick get back to them, it's going to be tight.
2 laps to go. Remember, 7 of the last 11 Talladega races decided by a last lap pass. Boyer and Harvick coming again on the high side.
Yeah, Boyer got real tight on the side of the 16 car, but it's paying off. Drag race down the back right there.
But they can't clear the Fords and protect the bottom because Edwards comes storming back on the inside.
Well, what else it does is opens a door for these two cats right here who have timed it out pretty darn good, coming to the white flag.
And there comes their teammates as well, Johnson and Earnhardt Jr. White flag this time.
Those have been the 2 best cars right there most of this race. They're just now showing it.
The bell lap, and the man who started up front leads it, Jeff Gordon.
But here comes the next 2 pair. These 2 cats right here, they may have timed it out too. Let's see what happens down the back.
Now they will get a draft off Mark Martin. And here's the slingshot to the outside.
Stay together. That's what they're saying. Stay together. Push, push, push. It's going to get tight down here in turn 3.
Don't forget Jimmie Johnson and Dale Jr., 5th and 6th. They are there. Which group will they go with? And will it help the Childress cars, or will it help Jeff Gordon to victory lane?
All bets are off. They get to the middle of the tri-oval.
Watch out, down low.
Way
Good
down
run.
comes Johnson.
Good run.
He's got room. They're 3 wide. 3 by 3 to the line.
Johnson.
Maybe Jimmie Johnson.
I believe he got him by an inch.
2 1/1000ths of a second he beat Boyer.
Okay, a 1/16 of an inch.
Have you ever?
Oh, man. Oh, man.
No, we have not.
I have never seen anything like that. Woohoo. What a finish.
That's how you do teammates, man. Go up and congratulate them. Both y'all won that race. Both y'all.
An unbelievable finish where Jimmie Johnson had just enough room between the 2 cars on the inside and the double yellow line, because crossing that would have cost him the race. He had the room. He made it work.
It's amazing how things will work out sometime for you, and sometimes that time it worked to perfection. Watch this.
Jeff Gordon watching Boyer, seeing if he can beat Boyer. Left just enough room on the inside for Johnson and Earnhardt. Right there in the tri-oval, it's Boyer's race.
Yeah, it looks like Boyer's pulling ahead, but then all of a sudden they hit that wall of air. Here comes that 48.
But Darrell, the start-finish line here is 1,000 feet further. And look how close it is, 4 wide at the wire.
That is just a beautiful thing right there. 2, 4, 6, 8 cars.
So close, we can hardly capture it with our stop-motion camera. There's a look at it, and there is the margin. Darrell, this so reminds me of 1981, when you're looking over at Terry Labonte to make sure you beat him. Today, Jimmie Johnson was the Ron Bouchard of 1981 who swept to the inside and won it.
Mark Martin saw the 48 coming, but he couldn't do anything about it.
Jimmie Johnson and Dale Earnhardt Jr. never left each other all day. And look at the Exmo, the Fox Exmo look of the finish as Jimmie looks for the checkered flag at the start-finish line. Any of those 8 cars could have won it. Jimmie Johnson did. Welcome back to Talladega. Jimmie Johnson celebrates. Entering turn 3, he was 5th. At the finish line, he was first. He and Dale Earnhardt Jr. celebrate Johnson's win. Here they are coming down the back straightaway, 5th and 6th.
I think what really helped them was when the 24 and the 5 got side by side, and the 33 and the 29. They gave the 48 and the 88, Jimmie Johnson and Dale Jr. That gave him a real suck right up to the back of this foursome right here. Now, when these 4 cars are running side by side, you've got to find a place to go. Thought about the outside, but knew he couldn't do it. Right here, Mark Martin could have maybe saved the win for Jeff Gordon, but he didn't get down in front of Johnson quick enough. Johnson got to suck off of all those cars, beat everybody to the line first.
Look at Carl Edwards. He was 3 car lengths back exiting turn 4, and he almost gets to Johnson at the finish line. Jimmie picked up the flag from the starter and brought it to his teammate and wingman, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
That's sweet right there, boys.
This ties the Ricky Craven Kurt Busch finish at Darlington for the closest margin of victory since the advent of electronic scoring in the Sprint Cup Series.
We were there
at Darlington, 2003. Rick Hendrick congratulates his driver. Here's Dick Berger in victory lane.
And Jimmie Johnson has just now pulled into victory lane. As it gets just a little wet down here, Jimmie, walk us through that last lap and tell us how you drove the car to win the race. That was Jimmie cleaning our lens.
Man, I thought we were in trouble. Something happened with like 2 to go, and we got disconnected and had a really tough time here in Junior on the radio. So I didn't know what he was saying or what he needed, but we were disconnected, and I got us back together, and I think he was overheating. But we got hooked up and rolling, and then all of a sudden it was just 2 groups in front of us. Had a big run down the back. I thought at the bottom they protected it, and then I just rode through 3 and 4, and I'm like, we'll get another chance, I hope. And they were worried about each other in the 2nd and 3rd lane. I left that bottom open, and we had some big mo on our side, and off we went. So it's great to have a planned workout. I mean, we agreed to work together. Really, we wanted to in Daytona, it just didn't work out. But this 48-88 shop is awesome, and I can't thank these guys enough. Can't thank Junior enough. He made the decision that my car was faster leading, and the way these things have been finishing up, that lead car is going to have the win. So in some respects, he was more worried about the team having a good performance than anything, and very responsible for this win today. So big thanks to Lowe's, the fans, my fans, all these fans out here watching this race. And looks like we're going to have a little fun tonight. These guys are getting rowdy.
Looks like the guy who gets the checkered flag doesn't get to keep it. You gave it away.
Well, I got it, and I gave it to him. He goes, I don't want it. I said, well, I got to give you something here. Thanks. So he's got the checkered flag over there, and can't wait to tilt the cold one back with him and thank him for good job done today.
All right, congratulations, Jimmie Johnson. Job well done. Chris?
All right, thanks, Dick. The Dominator is back. Actually, he never went that far away, but 15 races without a win for Jimmie Johnson. 5-time working on a 6th Sprint Cup championship. Pretty impressive with Jeff Hammond. Chris Myers here from the Hollywood Hotel. He led 14 laps, and kind of a classy move there, and officially 2 1,000ths of a second, so it was that close. As you saw, you pointed out to me that Mark Martin, though, had a chance with Jeff Gordon maybe to get him across the finish line ahead of Jimmie.
Well, I just saw the separation right there, and as the cars went underneath the start-finish line, it looked like Mark had gotten disconnected from the 24 car. I know that really hurts these guys as far as keeping that momentum going, but Mark did a great job getting Jeff to the front and almost getting him to victory lane. So right there at the end, I mean, everybody's kind of racing for themselves, but man, I'll tell you what, I've been here a lot of times, but I've never seen a win that close with that many cars at the start-finish line. Unbelievable.
And Steve Burns is with the guy who helped push, got Jimmie across that finish line. Steve?
Dale Earnhardt Jr. talking to his crew chief, Steve Letarte. Another good finish for this race team. Dale, this is a track and a race that ultimately requires teamwork more so than any other. Talk about all you could do at the end.
Well, I was more comfortable pushing Jimmie, and I think we're the faster combination that way than me leading. And for some reason, when I was leading, I would drive off his nose, and even running quarter throttle, I'd just get away from him, and we couldn't stay together. So we just kind of hung in there, and we got clear of the pack coming to the white, and I told Jimmie this to not lift no matter what, and he was telling me, all right, man, looks like the middle, no, not the middle. We're going to the bottom. And I just try to stay in the back of him without wrecking him. We come through the tribal, and I lost the nose. When we got on the inside of Mark and behind the 48, I lost the nose and doored Mark and about wrecked myself. But somehow or another, I was able to give Jimmie enough of a shove to get through there. And, you know, if I couldn't win the race, I was wanting Jimmie to win the race because I'd worked with him all day long, and he's my teammate. And I'm proud to be driving for Hendrick Motorsports, and it was a great finish, a great weekend for us to be able to qualify like we did, to be able to race like we did. We got awesome engines. They build great cars, and we all finished very well today, and that's a tribute to the craftsmanship we have back in Charlotte. I want to thank my sponsors, National Guard and Amp Energy. Thank you, Dale. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. The last two spring Talladega races, Jimmie Johnson didn't even finish the race. He only led 14 laps here, and on that last caution, he was 13th, but shot up to the front, and with what became the 88th lead change, that ties the record for lead changes set in this race last year. Jimmie Johnson, your winner.
I mean, the thing right now, these guys had a plan at Hendrick today to protect themselves, be around at the end, and in the end, they were there when it mattered the most to be able to help one another and put on one exciting finish.
Kurt Busch wound up 18th. Seemed like every time there was a wreck, he was somehow in or around the activity. And Jamie McMurray, who had a plan to lay back with Juan Pablo Montoya and make a move, got caught up in some traffic, some mishaps there. Dave Blaney, the Blaneyacks, disappointed in Ohio, rooting for what would have been his first win in 370 career starts.
No, it was an incredible run right there for Tommy Baldwin and Dave Blaney in that number 36 car. They came up a little bit short, but it was a wild day for a lot of different people.
And this is how it finished. Another fantastic finish. But Jimmie Johnson, his 54th career win, tying him for 9th all-time with lead.